However, Bitcoin is deflationary. Would you like to talk about that for a little bit, Julian?
Oh, sure.
Inform us.
So, I mean, yeah, essentially it works the opposite of the US dollar. So, oh my God, don't bring that up right now.
Hey guys, welcome back to your feature handle, Biggs and Boggs. I'm Marky Boggs.
And I'm Julian Biggs.
Hey, we got Spencer on sound and screens.
Spencer.
Thanks for joining us today, folks.
All right.
We like to come at you like once a week or so and tell you about some things that we believe will benefit your future hand. So without further ado, smash that like button and let's get right into it. What are we up to today and how can we plan for tomorrow? Julian?
Thanks, Marty. We're gonna ask the question today. Why Bitcoin? Why use Bitcoin? Why get out of the banks? Why get involved with Bitcoin? But first, as always, we're going to get into it with a little bit of a market scope here first.
Market scope.
What I'm looking at right now. Okay, so we are looking at the Bitcoin versus US dollar chart on the daily time frame today. Went over the daily because I was just kind of going over these two green boxes here. We got these ranges that have happened over the last few months, or actually through this year, I guess. We're in October, which is crazy. The time's just flying by. And yeah, it's still kind of summer here, so we're lost in the time here. But we're still in the same range. Not much going on, but we are kind of reaching this apex again. So, you know, a volatile move is kind of, you know, almost really bound to happen in the next couple of weeks, probably, maybe even 3 weeks. So we could be talking early November, and what that might look like is a little bit of a flash crash, as we were talking about last weekend, and then, you know, possibly getting out of this little apex here and seeing some upwards price action towards the end of the year. But how much, I don't know. Probably
exactly.
not that much.
We're waiting for that flash crash, just like we were talking about before.
Yeah.
And if you're watching any other YouTube channel right now, what are they all saying? Another leg down is imminent. It's imminent. Just like 100K was imminent, right? Yeah. So just take that into a perspective. Everybody's saying leg down.
Yeah. So
yeah, sure, it could happen, but that's the thing, is when in these markets, psychology is everything, and everybody starts to say one thing, it rarely happens. And that's exactly how people get taken advantage of and people get wrecked. So if you go and you listen to all these people and you say, okay, I'm not buying, again, which is why we push DCA. Price doesn't matter, just DCA. But if you're not DCAing and you're waiting for lower prices, then that's how you get burned, because you're going to be forced to buy on your way up. Because then what happens? If we go up to 25K again, what are you doing? Are you waiting? And then it goes to 30. Are you waiting? Yeah. Then it goes to 35. Are you still waiting?
Yeah.
Like,
and the reality is, with the way things are going with crypto, with Bitcoin, with the US dollar, and the current monetary policy that we have now, it is absolutely no doubt about it that Bitcoin is in there somewhere. To what degree, who knows, but it's in there somewhere. So you will have Bitcoin. I promise you, in some way, shape, or form, you will have Bitcoin in your future. It's as easy as using the app. But right now at these low prices, when you're a little skeptical, is when you want to get in. And not when it's like, oh, everybody's using it. Now I can use it on all my apps. I can use it through my banking. Now I can use it here and I can use it there. You know what I mean? You don't want to be doing it once it's already...
Yeah, your best bet for survival is basically don't follow the herd.
Yeah.
We are not a school of fish. Don't follow the herd.
Yeah.
So things are a little bit different. But anyways, why Bitcoin? Why Bitcoin? Let's talk about that. So we know that the US dollar, tortoise, yes, they live a lot longer.
Exactly.
For a certain reason.
Yeah.
We know that the US dollar is going to zero. We know that it's a inflationary asset or whatever, an inflationary system.
That's the only way it works.
Right? You have to pump more in for it to work.
Endless amounts.
And the reason that Bitcoin was invented was to basically be the next stepping stone or safe haven for the world after this basically economy boosting asset is done and over with, because that's all any fiat currency is. It's designed to get things moving. It's designed to make basically your economy start, right? It's designed to start your economy, get things going, but then it's not sustainable.
Every economy and every empire and all of the fiat we've ever seen, every one of them fails, and the US dollar being no different.
Yeah, because it's not designed for sustainability. It's designed just to get things going. So we know that it will come to an end, and we know honestly in our lifetime it's going to come to an end, because we can see it on the charts. We see what's going on as it's making lower highs every time it gets a little pump. They're trying really hard right now to push it as high as they can, and there's a lot of people out there that think it's going to go a lot higher. I personally don't think it's going to go a lot higher. I might be wrong, but either way, in the long term, it's going to go to nothing.
Yeah.
We know that. We know that for sure. Because of the way it's deflationary or inflationary. However, Bitcoin is deflationary. Would you like to talk about that for a little bit, Julian?
Oh, sure.
Inform us.
So, I mean, yeah, essentially it works the opposite of the US dollar. So over time, they print more and more US dollar because we have to flood the economy to get, things like
bailouts, car loans, bank loans. All these people spend more money than they have.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah,
and the only way to come up with that is to save that is to come up with more money.
And they continue to print more money.
Exactly.
So as
Bitcoin,
as the money supply goes up, the value of the dollar goes down, obviously, right? So the more they print, the less valuable the money becomes. So, Bitcoin is literally the exact opposite. So every 220,000 Bitcoin blocks mined. So this is how the halving cycles work. And it's approximately 3-4 years estimated through the runs that we've had. It's every 220,000 Bitcoin blocks mined. There's a halving cycle, and that's when the rewards
which is transactions per block,
yes.
Right? So the more Bitcoin becomes used, the shorter in time frame these cycles could become, right? Because the more people that use it, the faster the blocks will be. The more transactions there are, the faster these blocks will be mined.
Yes, but as it increases in value, the amount that people are able to purchase is going to be fractionalized in comparison to what it is now.
And the rewards,
right?
Also,
and the rewards go down. So you know what I mean. The last they can actually tell you. It's the last Bitcoin that'll be printed is 2130. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. We've already used 19 million, but it's going to take another 100 years to produce the next 2 million or whatever.
Because
Bitcoin,
of half-life.
Right? Because of the half-life, and so this is what's going to push the value to astronomical amounts, right? So there's how many millionaires or how many billionaires are in the world, you know what I mean? And Bitcoin is now just becoming, an attractive and scarce asset. We need to understand the scarcity of Bitcoin because of the way it's produced. And this is why people will choose Bitcoin and move over.
Exactly. The scarcity is the answer to why Bitcoin, basically. All said and done. Why Bitcoin is because it's scarce. Everything else out there, diamonds, gold, and silver. Like if we run out of gold on this planet, we will figure out how to get some from asteroids, meteorites, whatever you want to, like that sort of stuff is literally infinite in space. And Bitcoin is not.
And so the deflationary against its value.
We're not going to find more Bitcoin on an asteroid.
As the years go on, the production goes down. The production that comes out of Bitcoin goes down as the value is going up. So it's literally the opposite of the way our current monetary policy system.
And plus, it's just a completely pretty close to, and definitely will become one day, an unmanipulable market.
Well,
you can't hide it, right? Because you can hide diamonds, you can hide precious metals, you can hide them away and not let anybody. You can hide cars, used cars. That's a huge thing going on right now. All these markets are controlled.
They did the housing market.
The housing market. All these markets are controlled by letting you know how much is out there. They're not there. It's not actually how much is out there. They just let you know how much they want you to know is out there, or think is out there, right?
And
with Bitcoin, we know
they have no control over that.
Exactly.
We know how many there is. We know how many they produce at what times based on what's on the node. You can see it all.
All fully transparent on the chain of block. The blockchain.
The chain.
Living life on a blockchain. You'll hear that one soon. But that's why. That's why Bitcoin. You got to send me that mix.
What?
Send me that mix and I'll master it.
Oh, fuck. I thought it was done.
No, it's not.
Anyway, so that's why we choose Bitcoin, because the reality is you can choose something like Bitcoin, or you're choosing what the American dollar is doing for everybody. Really, is kind of what I see happening, right? I mean, you got the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, and another thing too is just like a lot of people are talking about, like we mentioned on our episode a couple weeks ago about banks going insolvent. And your money, basically, when you give your money to the bank, it's gone, right? And so if the stock markets crash, it truly is gone. And it's funny because where does that money go? It goes to the traders, and it's funny because it's terrible that shorting is even a possibility, but that's how the markets work, and that is literally 50% of the manipulation that you see, and the reason why you see things like.
But it's just because they have enough money to do that.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, everybody thinks they're going good. Well, I'm going to tank it. I'll take all.
And it goes both ways, right? So just when everybody's not going to buy because they're scared out of the market, that's when they come and scoop it all up.
And that's the thing. So if we go, I want to go back to the chart here. And actually, there's a prime example. It's like, think about how many freaking sad stories countries are in all those red candles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because to the people, the market makers, it doesn't matter what the value is. They don't care what the value of an asset is. They care what they can do with it, whether they're pushing it up or pushing it down based on media narrative. That's all they care about.
That's how they make their money.
Where's the liquidity, right? So if you put all your money in and you got your, you know what I mean, a stop loss set at wherever, it doesn't matter where the liquidity is.
Yeah.
That's where they're going to push the price.
Yeah.
If it's below them, great.
They go
sell
hit
it
those
off.
orders. Yeah.
And they'll hit that number. They'll take all that. They'll take all your Bitcoin. They'll take all your stock fund, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like,
But at least with Bitcoin, we this is why we know this now, is because of Bitcoin. And watching the stock market, you can't figure this kind of stuff out.
And so so speaking of the stock market and this choice between banks and Bitcoin, and the other reason Marty and I were talking about this outside earlier, is when you invest in index funds or mutual funds and the things that we've all done over time, you know, with traditional finance, trying to get ahead in life, and we take our forward you know what I mean, a good year. I mean, actually, sorry, I think the high index funds did well during the boom between 2020 and 2022 as well, but generally you're taking what, 4 to 7%. You get a good year's 9% on your index fund or mutual fund or whatever, right? So
sounds good if inflation was 2%. It
sounds good, but what the bank is doing is taking everybody's money and investing it themselves. It doesn't matter what return they get. They told you that you're going to get X amount of return, 4% or 7% or whatever your case may be. You get that, and they could have hidden X amount of dollars or however much in the data, because they make their trades. They are the market makers, right? They communicate around the world. They always
pool all the money
will.
together and push it around wherever they want.
And
then they give you back, like you said, the percentage that they agreed on, but they could be making 40. They could be
profits
making,
that
it's controlled by them. They can make literally whatever they want. Right?
In the last 2 years is insane. It's insane.
Yeah, and then they also work with the people or are owned by the people that control the narrative, that tell you whether you should buy or sell. And it's ridiculous, because we didn't want to push this podcast very much when even though we started it when Bitcoin was around 60K, we didn't want to push it for a certain reason, because we know that it was an all-time high, and anybody that bought is going to get wrecked. I knew for a fact. Now that we're below 20K, we're comfortable of telling you, like, this is when you want to get in. Now is when, and if you're not in, then now is definitely the time to start paying attention.
Yeah.
Because best case scenarios, we're probably going to see sideways action. Maybe go up to like 35. If you look back on the charts, every bear market has a little bit of a relief rally before it goes back down, but it pretty much just goes in a sideways range for 2 years, 1 to 2 years.
So people need to see all the bigger corporations and things like that are getting involved with crypto, and even banks, right? So people, and it's like the way that our kind of system works and how the economy pushes back and against us. You have the central banks, okay? There's the beginning, okay? Then you have corporations, okay, and then we have the politicians steering the fucking narrative, and then there's us getting sandwiched at the back of
and
of
working hard for all that money, trying to build something with that money, doing what we believe is what we have been told to do is the right thing with that money, but we're literally just pawns working hard and getting just squeezed dry.
Right. And so Bitcoin is a place that you can go where you got to manage it yourself, and it seems scary and all that jazz, but if you do it the same, you're comfortable going into the bank that you know is fucking everybody in the whole world. So you're comfortable going in there and sitting down with the nice gentleman,
bending over, and
he's a nice gentleman. He's a nice gentleman. He doesn't really have me bent over, but you know what I mean? But the nice gentleman sells me a mutual fund or whatever the deal is, right? And I'm happy with that at the end of the day. And you're happy with that because you had a nice experience down at the bank, your local bank. Come down.
Don't worry, we'll do it for you.
They'll take care of you. They'll take care of you, and you go there and you feel safe. But at the end of the day, we know that the central banks are screwing everybody. You know that they're making tons and tons of money, and in the back of your head, you know that that's controlled and manipulated by corporations and the government. But you still go in there and let them do it. When you could literally have control and manage it yourself, of course you trust yourself, right? All you have to do is have a fucking app.
But a lot of people these days just want it done. They don't want to think about it, right? So me personally, if someone's going to do something for me, I actually feel uncomfortable. I'm like, no, I'll like, unless it's my kids, and I'll step back and then you do it. But like, in a professional business sense, I know a guy, I'll take care of that.
I know a guy, I got involved, he's a friend of mine through crypto, and he's built a life full of like solid money, doing whatever he wants, vacations wherever he wants, because he literally just started putting every single dollar he earns. He's got no money. He's got like 77 cents. He loves to show me his bank statements. It's like 77 cents in the bank. Every single dollar he's ever earned has gone into Bitcoin.
And now not only that, because I know what you're talking about.
Now he's just
because I introduced you to him. But he does. He also he has no, like, he doesn't care. Like when it comes to investments with him, he's just like, oh, 10 grand here, 10 grand there, 10 grand in there, and doesn't care, right? And if one of them hits, then he's paid off all of those investments. And with crypto, honestly, like a lot of them hit. And as long as you get in and out in some of those in a bull market, and that's when he does most of that sort of stuff is just in the bull market. Then as long as you're in and out quick, then it can be very profitable. But it's the mindset. It's the mindset that changes, that divides people, because there's a lot of people out there that just want shit done for them. They want to just sit and watch TV at the end of a workday, and that's it. And it's like, I don't even know what to say, because it's not fine. I honestly think that's like the worst thing you can possibly do. You are literally a subject of the system by example to a T, and that is like the furthest thing that I want to be, you know, personally. So I need
all I do is work and pay rent.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So, but it's the mindset thing. It's like people actually think because the masses are doing this, that it's the right thing. And the reason that the masses are doing it is because you see it everywhere. Marketing. Why do more people have iPhones and Apple products than Samsung?
Yeah.
Because
when it's like, dude, what the reality is if you put 5 years of your money into Bitcoin on the weekends instead of doing all the bullshit that whatever it is that you might do, like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking actually bite the bullet, pay attention, get involved, and do this for 5 years. And everybody that I know that's been in 5 years or longer,
that's the number pretty well. 5 years is the number.
You know what I mean? Are extremely freaking inspiring, and it's like, to me, I'm just like,
exactly. I mean? If you get in and you stick with it for 5 years, you will be good. You will by then your mind, because you will have stepped out of that you know, so to speak, average mindset that everybody has, that everybody's basically born to have, right? Watching cartoons starts right from the very beginning, right? Like with the cartoons and the coins, the Looney Tunes, and all that stuff. Like it's just like, it's all a big game, and you don't have to play it. You don't have to be a part. You don't. You can do your own thing.
And it's like everyone's like, oh, money is freedom. It's like, no, discipline is how you get to freedom. Discipline is how you achieve freedom. So it's like, you know, oh, I don't have the money to invest, or, you know, maybe I'll start there. And it's like, that's laziness, it's bullshit, it's fucking excuses, it's whatever.
You're only lying to yourself, you're only hurting yourself.
Screw all the bullshit, right? If you want a change, it's discipline, and that's it. And it's fucking $10 a week.
But that's the problem, right? Is those people have the mindset of waiting for somebody else to do it for them. So it's nothing's ever going to change.
But it's the same as every one of your favorite freaking artists. As soon as 10,000 or 100,000 people like it, you will too, right?
So bad.
Well, but that's exactly it.
That's but not only that, actually, it's because they're forced to like it because they hear it so often too. Because it becomes familiar.
Be the first person in your group to fucking get involved.
Because you know what's funny is a lot of these new songs that people do go nuts head over heels for. They're terrible. They're so bad. But the first time, and the funny thing is the first time everybody hears it, they hate it.
Like, exactly.
They hate it. But then they hear it again and again and again and again. It's here. It's there. It's absolutely everywhere. And then next thing you know, you're tapping. You're like, oh, I know this song. All right, whatever. I'll jam to that, right? But you already forgot that you hated this song the first time you heard it. Like that's how they do it. And it's like
thing. Now that everybody else likes it, you like it, just like fucking AC/DC.
Jet commercial, sold Apple, iPod, all that shit. Like it's all just status symbol. Like you've seen the lineups.
So anyways,
oh man,
that's why Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin.
That's why if you want to separate yourself from the ridiculous, you know, what is it called? I don't even know what it's called.
The Matrix.
The Matrix, sure. The Matrix, the day-to-day string that they attach you to and just let you, like, you basically are on a leash, right? Like, I guess, it's the Matrix.
We're all marionettes.
It's the Matrix.
Okay. It's
so funny. It's so funny because there's so many.
You know, and it's crazy because it's not even far-fetched, because if we are, like we were saying earlier too, we're just light beings. We know that we're just made up of light and energy and shit like that. It is literally just a simulated, like, holographic projection that we experience in a physical and three-dimensional world, right? So it's like,
well, the disciplined are taking advantage of the undisciplined.
The disciplined are taking advantage, and it's like it's all the people we watch and admire, but also at the same time, like, are, you know, it's like you're afraid to be that because that person is saying some shit that somebody might not like.
Yeah, somebody might call you crazy. Watch out.
Oh, I'm nuts.
Yeah,
nuts.
I'm psycho. I'm psycho, and never been happier.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Anyways, I think that's
you got it. Smash the like on this video. Share it with your friends. Biggs and Boggs are gonna come at you hard for the next little while, so make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop a comment, and have yourself a fantastic day.
Biggs and Boggs out.
Peace.
Don't You sound like a fucking baseball commentator. Like, don't tell him. Like, don't say that we're coming at him hard. You know.